Her fingers trembled as she touched the mirror, the one that shouldn't have existed in her apartment, cracked around the edges, yet glowing faintly with a heartbeat of its own. It called her by name. And when she whispered back, the reflection didn't mimic her, it smiled. Mira had always been the practical one. She believed in schedules, checklists, and coffee strong enough to keep her numb through 12-hour workdays. Dreams? They were for children. And maybe for people lucky enough to escape heartbreak without scars. But everything changed the night she found the mirror. It had appeared in her room without explanation, wedged between her wardrobe and the cold white wall. Every evening, it pulsed gently, like it was breathing. And one night, when insomnia had wrung her dry, Mira placed her palm against it. The surface rippled like water, and without meaning to, without understanding how, she stepped through. The air on the other side shimmered with golden light. Fields floated in the sky like islands, and clouds curled beneath her feet like whispers. Trees had leaves like crystal glass, and rivers sang lullabies in forgotten languages. It should have been beautiful, but it felt too quiet. Like something was watching. Mira wandered until she reached a broken bridge connecting two floating islands. That's when she heard the voice. "Careful," he said. She turned, and there he was. He looked like he'd stepped out of a storybook. Tousled hair, ocean-gray eyes, and a faint scar above his brow. There was pain in his gaze, a sorrow that wasn't loud but deep, like a song you can't forget. "I'm Kael," he said. "And you shouldn't be here." Kael didn't smile often, but when he did, it reached his eyes. He was mysterious, distant, but never cruel. Mira hated how curious she felt around him. Every time their hands brushed or their conversations drifted into silence, her heart beat louder. He told her the world she'd entered was called Somnara, a dream realm, created by forgotten hearts and buried memories. "You came here because something inside you still believes in wonder," he said one night, as they watched floating lanterns drift across a lavender sky. And for the first time in years, Mira allowed herself to believe that maybe love didn't have to end in heartbreak. But the dream was rotting. Each day, the skies grew darker. Shadows slipped between the islands. Whole parts of Somnara were vanishing overnight. "There's a curse," Kael confessed, "and I'm part of it." He showed her the mark on his wrist, a spiral of black that spread a little further each day. "I was once like you," he whispered, from the waking world. "But I fell in love with a dream, and refused to wake up." Mira's throat tightened. "You're stuck here?" "I chose to stay," he said, "but the dream is dying now. And so am I." They searched together, through the temple of lost hours, the hall of forgotten names, and the forest of echoes, trying to find the source of the curse. What they discovered shattered Mira. The mirror hadn't found her randomly. It had responded to grief. Her grief. Years ago, she'd lost her younger sister, Lily, to a car crash. She'd buried the pain so deep, it had turned into silence. The dream world had fed on that silence, opening its doors to her heartache. And the curse? It was rooted in people like her, who refused to feel, who shut out love to avoid loss. Mira stood in the mirror cavern, surrounded by versions of herself, each one frozen in moments of pain she'd tried to forget, her parents' divorce, the breakup with someone she once thought she'd marry, and Lily's lifeless hand slipping out of hers at the hospital. Kael stepped beside her. "You can't heal what you don't face," he said gently. Tears streamed down Mira's face. For the first time, she screamed. She let it all out, the pain, the guilt, the longing. The cave trembled. Light poured in through cracks in the walls. The darkness receded. But then Kael gasped. His mark had vanished. And so had the bridge holding him to Somnara. "No," Mira whispered, clutching his hand. "You can't disappear." Kael smiled softly. "You saved this world, Mira. You healed it by healing yourself. But I was always part of the dream. I never truly belonged in the real world." "You do now," she insisted. "You belong with me." They kissed. It wasn't passionate. It wasn't perfect. but it was real. Honest. Human. "I'll find a way," she whispered, as he faded like mist. He smiled. "I'll be waiting." Mira woke up in her apartment, the morning light warm on her skin. The mirror was gone. But something had changed. She laughed more. Cried when she needed to. Reached out to people she'd pushed away. She started painting again. She even visited Lily's grave for the first time in years and left a small note, "I'm ready now." One evening, while organizing her closet, Mira found a shard of the mirror buried behind an old shoebox. It pulsed softly in her palm. And as she stared into it, she saw Kael. Not a dream. Not a memory. He was standing in a mirror version of her room, holding a shard too, smiling. "We found each other," he said. "Across dreams. Across worlds." Mira's eyes filled with wonder. Because maybe the heart of a dream was love that refused to die. If this emotional journey touched your heart, if you felt the romance, the suspense, and the deep emotional mystery of love lost and found again. Backhand index pointing right, then like this video. Speech balloon, comment below your favorite moment or the twist that surprised you most. Red heart, and don't forget to subscribe to DreamVerse for more stories like this. If you want to see a sequel to Journey to the Heart of a Dream World, drop a comment and tell us.